So this is what in Bulgaria we call a home stamp or house stamp. It's just Isus Christos Nika. And this one is 150 years old at least. I bought it from an antique store from a town where my great-grandfather used to be a priest. So I keep telling myself maybe my great-great-grandfathers used it. You know, you never know. But it's a good story. And I will show you a few other varieties. This was given to us from a priest's family. So it's also fairly old. It's at least 50 years old. And it's the Greek style, what we would call a Greek style Prosfora stamp, because the Russians would just use the agniets, the lamb. And I want to show you, I really kind of have a collection of them now. This is a different kind, and it's also very old. So it's pretty much the house, but in a circle. And this was just made by, it was the first Prosfora stamp that was made in this house, because we have a workshop by an 8-year-old boy. He made it all by himself. Yeah. So this is another very old one. You can, at least again, 100-year-old. You can tell by the color of the stamp. Now here I have one from Russia that is already what I sometimes call edible icons, because they're full-blown images of the Mother of God and the saints, the Theotokos, yeah. That's another Russian one. It's just for the little prosfora that they bring as offerings when you give the list of names of your relatives that you want to pray for. And now let me show you what is the house stamp. So this here is a new one, but it's specifically what we would call a house stamp. This would be used for the prosfora when the women would make it at home and bring it to the church as an offering. So every family would actually bring a prosfora to the church on Sunday, and then they would cut it as antidoron at the end. But then on the back is what they would call the house stamp. So that this would be used for every daily bread that they baked, so that they would bless the family. So that Christ would be with. So they would just always make sure that they never threw bread away. That's why there's so many sayings saying that bread is sacred. So I grew up with my mom never ever letting me throw bread. We would collect it and use it for what we call popara. So it's a special meal made of dry bread, and when you just cover it with milk and sugar and tea. Or, you know, just, and we even pick up the crumbs. We even have meals with crumbs. So in the bread house, we will start making what we call crumb boxes. We can just invent it so we can inspire people to collect their crumbs.
It's a very nice tradition.
Let me show you a few others. This is specifically the Mother of God stamp from Russia.
Sure.
And I want to show you another one. This is another interesting variety of a Bulgarian stamp, which is called the Eye of God. So that sign
looks like an eye.
It looks like an eye, and then of course you have the Christ in it.
Jesus Christos Nika.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ conquers.
Now you can tell how old
death, hell, Satan.
Now you can tell how old this one is just by the way it's eaten up by the termites, and then you can look on the back. He has a different type of a house stamp, a little different. О, те са ми колекция, да. Аз ги събирам от години наред, да. А това е за просфората, като са взимали в църквата анафора след литургията. So this is what would be called an antidoron box. In Bulgaria we call it prosfora box, but it's really for the antidoron. So you open it up and you keep for the whole week your blessed bread. Small pieces of bread, so you can eat it with blessed water every morning when you start your day.
That's a nice tradition. I haven't seen this before.
You haven't? Yeah. And then there's another kind, which is this one here, which is from Romania, and it was usually the stamp is on the bottom, so it's a cross with the stamp on the bottom, and it was usually the priests who had this, so they can also bless you with the cross.
Wow.
There's just so many kinds.
And this is for the priest's house, for the bread they make in their house.
Yes, exactly. Just for the house bread.
Interesting.
So these are the greatest treasures. The greatest treasures. Let me see what this is. I just wanted to show you an interesting stamp I have. This is a Mayan stamp for chocolate. That's what the Mayan tribes used to use, and it really looks like the eye of God. And even they called it the eye of God, Ojo de Dios.
Wow.
And they would use it for chocolate, so they would roll it on the chocolate. And I sometimes use it for bread, so this is how you can actually incorporate traditions.
Wow.
Ah!